Are you a New Mexico police officer looking for training for you or your department? I'm going to tell you why my courses are the best, coming up. Hi, I'm Erik Scramlin with Tactical Legal Solutions. I'm a career prosecutor in New Mexico. I've spent my entire career at the DA's office, fighting defense attorneys, handling suppression motions in court, and in my current role, I defend officers against allegations of police misconduct in Section 1983 lawsuits. I started Tactical Legal Solutions because I stand for law enforcement and I'm passionate about teaching the law. What I've found over the years is that there's a lot of bad courses, a lot of bad training out there when it comes to legal training for law enforcement officers, and that's especially true in New Mexico. In this video, I'm going to talk about my approach as a prosecutor to legal training for law enforcement in New Mexico and why my courses lead to more engagement and more takeaways and better policing. Before we get started though, I want to ask that you please consider subscribing to the channel. I got a ton of videos in the works that's going to cover all kinds of topics important to law enforcement officers, specifically in New Mexico. It's all free. It's all going to be on the channel. Just please hit that subscribe button so you can stay on top of it. All right, let's dive right in. The first question that you need to think about when considering the quality of the legal training is to ask yourself the question, where is my training coming from? Are you using your local DA's office? Are you using an out-of-state vendor? Retired officers? Is it an online virtual event? Software? A conference? It's very important for a number of reasons to ask this question, but most importantly, you have to realize that New Mexico is a very unique state when it comes to constitutional rights. New Mexico adopted the interstitial approach to interpreting the state's constitution, which means that citizens in New Mexico are afforded far greater rights under the New Mexico Constitution than the Fourth Amendment. If you have an outside vendor coming in, giving general Fourth Amendment search and seizure law, they can give you a lot of bad information, especially when it comes to the exceptions of the warrant requirement and how they apply. As a DA, I saw this problem all the time, where I'd see a number of suppression issues coming up because some officers went to an out-of-state training or an out-of-state vendor came in and gave bad information. You need someone who not only is well-versed in New Mexico specific law, but someone with the experience in practicing it. As a prosecutor, I spent a majority of my time handling HIDTA drug cases, and because of that role, most of my time was spent in court handling New Mexico specific search and seizure issues. I'm well versed in New Mexico search and seizure law. I bring a ton of experience as a prosecutor to all of my courses. The next important factor in bringing a good trainer is to ask, what is the trainer's style? There's nothing worse than paying a whole bunch of money to bring someone in and then they get up there and read off a PowerPoint the whole time. There is a better approach to training. As a prosecutor, when I tried cases to a jury, I understood that people learn and process information differently. That's why in my courses, I'm not just going to stand up there and read off a PowerPoint. We'll have a PowerPoint, but we're going to include group activities, hands-on exercises, so we can accommodate the different learning approaches, so we can have that blended approach so everybody takes value away from the training. Finally, it's very important to find out whether or not the company, the vendor, the person doing your training is going to take the time to learn the particular needs of your department. With all of my courses, we're going to have a pre-event meeting where we sit down and I talk with you about the specific needs of your department. For example, if we're doing a search and seizure class, we're going to sit down, I'm going to go over areas of concern that you may have with some of your officers, and then we're going to focus more time, more attention on those specific areas. And with all of my courses, I always make myself available after the event to answer any questions that's come up once people have had the time to process the information. So there you have it. You got a lot of options out there for legal training for yourself or for your department. But if you're tired of outside vendors and you're looking for a better approach, I hope that you'd consider giving me a call, shoot me an email, send me a text, whatever. Let's talk. I'm doing this because I'm passionate about it. It's what I really want to do. So please give me a call. I'd love to talk to you about what I can do for your department. And hey, hit the subscribe button once again because I got a lot of free videos coming out with information specifically for law enforcement officers in New Mexico. Look forward to talking to you soon.